everyone, it's Han again. Today we're going to visit a traditional Vietnamese market together. This market is over 300 years old, and today it has also become a popular destination for visitors to this city. You can find all kinds of things here, from ready-to-eat foods to fresh vegetables, meat, fish, seafood, fruit, spices, and so much more. For Vietnamese people, scenes like this are probably very familiar. But if you're visiting Vietnam for the first time, especially as a foreigner, a traditional market like this can offer a really interesting and authentic experience. Of course, just like anywhere else in the world, there are both good things and things you should be aware of. So, here are a few things I think you should keep in mind if you're planning to visit this market or other traditional markets in Vietnam, so you can avoid unnecessary problems and have a better experience. First, always ask the price before you buy. Unlike supermarkets, where prices are clearly displayed, not every stall in a traditional market has a price tag. And sometimes the same product can have different prices depending on where you buy it. So, one of the first Vietnamese phrases you should learn is, "How much is this?" That's all you need. If you think the price is a little high, you can ask, "Can you lower the price a little?" In some markets, bargaining is completely normal. However, that doesn't mean you should assume that every Vietnamese market will overcharge you. Many vendors offer fair prices and are very friendly. So just ask about the price politely and with a smile. And if you decide not to buy something, simply smile and say thank you. No problem at all. The second thing is to learn a few simple Vietnamese phrases. You don't need to speak Vietnamese fluently to shop at a local market. Just knowing a few basic phrases, such as "I'll take one," "No bag, please," or "No vegetables," please, can make shopping much easier. These little phrases can make a big difference. English still isn't widely spoken in many traditional markets, so it's completely normal if a vendor doesn't understand what you're saying. Just be patient and understanding. The third thing is to bring cash, especially smaller bills. These days, many places in Vietnam accept bank transfers or QR code payments. But at small stalls in traditional markets, cash is still one of the most common and convenient ways to pay. You might only buy a small amount of vegetables, a snack, or a bottle of water, so having smaller bills will make the whole process much easier. The fourth thing is to keep an eye on your belongings and pay attention to your surroundings while walking through the market. Traditional Vietnamese markets can get quite crowded, and some of them have very narrow walkways. And especially in Vietnam, you may even see motorbikes passing through the market while you're walking. So, keep an eye on what's happening around you, and try not to spend too much time looking at your phone while walking. If you're carrying a phone, camera, or handbag, just keep an eye on your belongings as you would anywhere else with a lot of people around. And if you want to take photos or record the vendors, I think it's best to ask for permission first. But in my experience, Vietnamese people are usually very happy to let you capture these moments. They're friendly, welcoming, and often see it as a nice memory to share. So don't worry too much. A simple smile and a polite question can make everything much easier. And finally, the last thing is food. Honestly, visiting a Vietnamese market without trying some street food would be a little bit of a shame. There are so many tempting things to try, from familiar Vietnamese breakfast dishes to different kinds of cakes, fried foods, grilled meats, and dishes you may have never seen before. But there is one thing you should keep in mind. Not every dish is going to agree with your stomach. Especially if you've just arrived in Vietnam, your body may not be used to certain spices, ingredients, or cooking styles that are different from what you're familiar with back home. If you have a sensitive stomach, you may want to bring some basic digestive medicine with you. And instead of trying too many things at once, start with a small portion and see how your body reacts. You can also choose food stalls that are popular with local people. These stalls often have plenty of regular customers, and you can watch how the food is prepared before deciding whether you want to try it. But don't let this scare you away from Vietnamese street food. In my opinion, one of the best things about visiting Vietnam is sitting down at a small local food stall and trying the kinds of dishes Vietnamese people enjoy every day. As you walk through a traditional market, you'll see women doing their morning shopping, vendors who have been selling here for years, families buying ingredients for their meals, and everyday conversations between shoppers and vendors. For Vietnamese people, these scenes may seem completely ordinary. But for a foreign visitor, they can be a very authentic way to understand what everyday life in Vietnam is really like. You don't have to visit a famous tourist attraction. Sometimes simply walking into a local market can show you a very real side of life in Vietnam. For me, traditional markets are one of the most interesting places to experience Vietnam. They can be noisy. They can be crowded. And sometimes they can feel a little chaotic if you're not used to them. But that's exactly what makes them such a unique part of everyday life here. If you're planning a trip to Vietnam, I hope this video helps you feel a little more confident about visiting a traditional Vietnamese market. And if you'd like to explore a more authentic, everyday, and down-to-earth side of Vietnam with me, make sure to follow Hana in Vietnam. I'll see you on the next adventure.